not about a level playing field.
It has been the delay on the Government of India part that is now leading to a discussion which is highly in favor of the pharma companies.
In a nutshell, the government's policies have been incoherent.
It will help not only for kids, for adults also.
Well, the centre is mulling the idea of granting indemnity to foreign vaccine makers in order to ramp up India's vaccine drive. But the idea has been met with a stamp of disapproval from Indian companies who feel that even they, in that case, should be getting legal protection. And now politics over this matter has erupted, with the opposition parties now gunning for the central government. Congress's P. Chidambaram has questioned the centre as to what they were doing for the last 8 to 9 months when they should have started the procurement of vaccines in full swing. Shiva Sena MP Priyanka Chaturvedi has also blamed the centre over the ongoing vaccine crunch in the country.
Government of India has been making all efforts to augment availability of vaccines in India. We remain engaged with US vaccine manufacturers like Pfizer, Moderna and Johnson & Johnson as part of this effort. We are separately also engaged with the US administration to ensure that necessary components and raw materials for vaccine manufacturing and production in India are readily available and that the supply chains remain open.
एलिजिबिलिटी कितनी है 100 की और वैक्सीनेशन कितना है 3%, 5%? ये प्रश्न है मूल, जो हम नहीं, अब जो हमने बहुत पहले कहा था, ये प्रश्न अब उच्चतम न्यायालय ने स्पष्ट पूछा है. इन अ नटशेल, the government's policies have been incoherent on COVID. I'm talking in particular. Incoherent, inefficient and ineffective. ये सिर्फ कोरोना की बात नहीं है, ये आपके अप्रोच की बात है. अब भी अगर अपने अप्रोच को थोड़ा बदले, थोड़ी ह्यूमिलिटी लाएं, थोड़ी विनम्रता लाएं, थोड़ी आत्मसात करने की प्रक्रिया लाएं, तो इस देश की कोविड से संबंधित विशेष रूप से और बाकी आर्थिक नीतियां बहुत ज्यादा प्रभावशाली होंगी.
All these discussions, negotiations, decisions should have been taken long time ago. It has been the delay on the Government of India part that is now leading to a discussion which is highly in favor of the pharma companies. Both the Indian manufacturing companies do not have that indemnity clause which are being sought by these two companies. And if I remember correctly, it was only in the month of February where Pfizer withdrew its request to be able to vaccinate people in India because the Government of India continued to delay all the permissions that they were seeking.
So why is there this debate on indemnity now? Why are Indian vaccine makers upset about indemnity being given to foreign manufacturers like Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, whoever now approaches for an emergency use authorization? So the arguments being given why Indian jab makers should also get similar provisions or benefits from the Indian government. For instance, manufacturers neither approve nor test vaccines. That is what they are saying. Then in this case, manufacturers should not be made liable because they are not doing the research. They are simply working on producing the vaccine. So only the manufacturing aspect is under their control. Whether the vaccine works or not, that is all up to the researchers, the scientists behind it. So why should they are saying the vaccine manufacturers be held legally accountable in case of an adverse event? Vaccines have been developed and licensed quickly is another aspect that they are putting out, saying in any other normal circumstances, vaccines take years to be tested and brought to the markets. This has been done at a fast pace looking at the pandemic situation, and therefore indemnity is something that should be provided to manufacturers who are, according to them, taking that risk of producing these vaccines. Manufacturers may be discouraged by this unverified claims, and therefore they could in fact suffer as well, as we have seen in the case of Covaxin, how Bharat Biotech had to repeatedly come out and give their point of view about the safety and efficacy of their vaccines, because doubts were created about their vaccines not being good enough, especially because the trial results were not out and they were given the emergency use authorization very quickly, may end up hindering the process of the vaccination program. They are saying that this disparity in dealing with different manufacturers in a different way might also create a hindrance in upping the production and encouraging vaccine manufacturers to ramp up production, and that could undermine the vaccine process or the vaccination process in the country. Runjhun Sharma is now joining us with more details on this. Runjhun, so how is the government or the expert panel that provides the emergency use authorization going to tackle this issue, considering that the Indian manufacturers have clearly now, created this situation where they are saying that if foreign manufacturers will be given indemnity, we deserve the same?
Yes, Maha. In fact, the government will really have to make sure that both the manufacturers remain happy, considering for now both Covishield and Covaxin are our best bets. Remember, till now we don't have other vaccines in the country. Pfizer, Moderna, of course, is a possibility, but largely the inoculations which have happened in the country have happened because of these two vaccines, Covishield and Covaxin. Now, as far as Sputnik V is concerned, which is the third vaccine in India, remember, Maha, while some shipments have come into India, but the stock remains very, very loose, and it's not enough to inoculate a huge chunk of population. So the government will have to make sure that both these vaccine makers, Serum Institute of India as well as Bharat Biotech, are happy. Remember, last year Serum Institute had approached the government seeking indemnity, which was denied to them. They'd again approached for seeking indemnity this year, which was again denied to them. And now the talks and the possibility of a foreign COVID-19 vaccine manufacturer getting indemnity is something which has really managed to irk the Indian vaccine makers. And let me also point out, Maha, today around 4 p.m. is the Health Ministry briefing, and I'm sure this is going to come up there.
All right, Runjhun, we'll wait to see what the Health Ministry says in another 3 hours from now about the possibility of providing indemnity to foreign manufacturers is concerned, and how they're going to tackle the Indian manufacturers now raising a hue and cry about that. Let's also move on now to understand why the Indian government is planning to waive off the bridging trials and also the indemnity clause for foreign vaccine manufacturers. Why did they not do it earlier? My colleague Shreya Dhondial spoke with Dr. Randeep Guleria.
Dr. Guleria, a logical question to ask at this point of time will be, why did this waiver for foreign vaccines not come earlier? It could have come 8 months ago or a year ago, and if it had, we possibly would not be in the sort of mess we are right now.
I think there are two things to keep in mind. One is looking at emerging data. At that point in time, there was not that much of data for us, one, to be comfortable, and I'm not part of the group which decides on this, but there was not enough data for anyone to be comfortable to say that you could start giving it to Indians, because there are ethnic variations that we know, and we've seen some side effects happening in European population with some vaccines. And therefore, you want to be really careful, because the first principle is that you should not cause more harm than good. And that is something that is important. But as the vaccine rollout happened, it became obvious that a large number of people who are getting vaccinated, even in UK and in the US, are of Indian origin, and in them the vaccine did not show any side effects. And therefore, it was felt that now we have enough data globally to say that we can now approve the vaccines without having to do the bridging studies as far as COVID-19 is concerned.
And my colleague Maria Shakil spoke with former Global General Counsel of Cipla and Glenmark, Murli Neelkantan, about the centre's move to grant indemnity to foreign vaccine makers. Listen in.
There was a race against time as far as the vaccine development is concerned. Then in that case, because India has 2 indigenous vaccines as well, shouldn't Indian companies also not be held, shouldn't the similar waiver be granted to Indian companies too, what they are demanding now?
I don't think so. It's not about a level playing field. Indian companies have had a different set of commercial parameters on which they have done this deal. So as I said before, the Indian government has spent 45 crores on Serum Institute and Bharat Biotech. That's not been given to Pfizer, Moderna, J&J, Sinopharm, Sinovac, any of those other vaccine manufacturers who are likely to come to India. So there is no issue about level playing field.
Okay.
Also, they're not selling their vaccines at one price. Each of them has negotiated a different price. Therefore, it turns out to be a discussion only about money. They have taken the risk, added it to their price, and given that price to the government. The government's accepted that price on the clear understanding that Serum and Bharat Biotech carry that risk. Now, if Pfizer is unwilling to carry that risk, it just becomes a part of the price negotiation. The Indian government buys insurance or gets an insurance company to stand up for it, or self-insures by creating a compensation fund, and we can deal with this issue. So to say that just because imported vaccine manufacturers are getting an indemnity, the Indian manufacturers should also get it, is just a meaningless conversation. There are three separate commercial deals being negotiated, and you can't say I pick and choose the good parts of every deal that is being negotiated and I will automatically get the benefit of that.